Why this study is so important for the Commission? As you may remember, 1 year ago, Juncker presented his priority to the European Parliament. And among these priorities, of course, one of the main instruments to restore competitiveness and create growth and jobs was to strengthen our industrial basis. And President Juncker very well indicated that if we want to strengthen our industrial basis, we need to ensure that workers have the skills that industry needs. So this is at the center of the fight against unemployment. This is at the center of our policy to restore competitiveness. And this is particularly important for the tourist sector. You will know how many employees have the tourist sector. 11% of all the employment in the EU are related to the tourist sector.
Mr. Mike Coyne, you represent the Centre for Strategy and Evaluation Services. I believe that you're also responsible for the report that has brought today's conference into being about tourism, education, this mapping exercise and performance check. The links between tourism and education, how strong are they at present, and do you feel they can be strengthened?
Well, we think this is a really interesting occasion because it's bringing together people from two worlds, from the tourism world, but also people from education and training. Those obviously overlap, but quite often they are operating in parallel, as it were. So today's a grand opportunity to bring people together and to get the interrelationship between the two, how training and education can support the development of tourism.
How much does this mean to the general public in terms of education about tourism? I mean, is it education of the man in the street? Is it education about specialists? What exactly are we talking about?
Well, our study found that there's a lot of education and training around for tourism, but what we are particularly interested in today is how that can be fine-tuned and made more ready to support the development of tourism into the next century. There are a lot of interesting, exciting things happening in the tourism sector, but it needs the training support to carry that forward.
Is it also a question of investment? I mean, is it a question of EU investment, Commission sort of strengthening and supporting such principles of education?
Well, certainly the EU input into this area is very important and continues to be so. But it's also a matter of doing things better, getting people to talk to each other and to pick up the good practice and to put it into effect in their own area.
I think we have to keep the contribution and to increase the potential benefit of the tourism industry. And for this, it's very important to pay more and more attention of the needs of the person employed in this sector, and also, of course, the need of the industry, because they are the person that are the employers.
Alice Jude, you are a tourism expert who has been called here today, obviously, to assist with the conference, and it's obviously also connected to the report that's been made. I get the impression from listening to the speakers that the tourism industry at present is having quite a great deal of difficulty in retaining people on a professional level. What can be done about that, do you think?
Yeah, well, it's a real issue because a lot of people study tourism, imagining something with their job and career, and then they realize during the study that it will not be as they wish, and they don't find a job in what they were trained for, often because the training are not corresponding to the needs of jobs, because there are a lot of jobs in the tourism industry. Well, one of the solutions that was found, the recommendation from the report, is to have a better image of the tourism industry, making that the teachers, the trainers should explain more what is the sector about, how many opportunities they have, not only travel agency, not only hotel, but also a financial manager or travel manager or yield manager, revenue manager. There are a lot of jobs in the tourism sector which are absolutely not known by the tourism students.
Do you think it's perhaps also a problem that, along with catering, the profession is perhaps associated with low salaries, low wages?
Yeah, it can also be that, because there is a part in tourism job where the salary is not very good and you have to work when the other are not working. So clearly it's a difficulty. But in the tourism you have a lot of possible progression paths. And that's something also we should tell the students and the young people, that yes, maybe they will begin with some difficult time, but then they have a real great opportunity to change and to progress into the job.
Do you believe, therefore, that the profession, the industry, call it what you will be improved by the the input of the EU, both financially and with events like today?
Well, events like today enables to bring people from the tourism policy and the educational policy together, which is the main gap, is that the tourism industry is doing a lot of initiative to improve the skills and the training, but they are not linking with the stakeholders from the education policy. So events like this should be repeated also at national level in order to bring together those both kinds of stakeholders.
And what can you tell me, Alice, about the role that NECSTouR has played in the study and today's event?
Well, NECSTouR is the partner of CSES in the study, and it was chosen because as a European network representing regional authority and also academics and enterprises, it has the power to it has the possibility to raise awareness to various types of tourism stakeholders, and also to gather feedbacks and to find also tourism experts. So NECSTouR in the European study was there to give expertise advices from the academic committee, gathering European tourism stakeholders to the focus group meeting, and naturally organizing the event with CSES.
Carlo Corazzo, you are a member of DG Grow, is it?
Yes.
And you are responsible for tourism and creative growth. Big conference today, big event. The gist that I seem to be getting from listening to the speakers is that there is a problem retaining people professionally in tourism. What can we do about that?
I think we have to improve the functioning of the market. At the moment there is a clear mismatch between what industry is looking for and what the market offers. So we need to invest on education, restructure the education system and make industry work together with the education system and with the other stakeholders, including institutions, including the European Commission.
How do you feel that education can be brought to bear on tourism? Is this education beginning from the very earliest point of school? Is it more education at university? When will it begin?
We have to work in all stages: higher education, university, vocational training, specific school for tourists. This study we presented today is a very good basis to understand better which are the real problems, which are the gaps in terms of lack of skill, and what we can do to act in a more bold way to solve this problem.
And the EU, what do you believe the EU's input into this should be?
I think the EU can have an added value, because this is a problem that we have all over Europe. We have important instruments like Erasmus+. We can do a better use of the social fund and structural fund to boost education. We can also do a better use of the COSME budget. So I think that the Commission can play a role together with the European Parliament, of course in close cooperation with industry and with the national and local stakeholders.